You're very adventurous. Like
Yeah.
we see pictures of you rock climbing, skiing, water skiing. What are three bucket list items for you?
Skydiving, for sure. Because that was my grandmother who was a big mentor to me before she passed. Like, I was like, what's the one thing that you regret? She's like, I never skydived.
Oh, okay.
So I'm scared so much to do it. I've tried a couple times, and like two of the times it was like wind advisory, we couldn't go up. And so that doesn't help. That makes me even more scared.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, but one of these days I will have to skydive. A bucket list is to finally get my pilot's license. I've been up so many times, and it's like just
Mhm.
trying to find the time to get all the hours. Um, and then the third thing, ooh, what is the third thing bucket list? I want to do, and I haven't picked where yet, but I really want to do a hike, like a mountain climb, like a crazy one. And I'm not sure which one that is yet. I know friends that have done Kilimanjaro. I know other friends that want to go to the base of Mount Whitney. And like I want to do one of those, but I know it also takes prep and time and stuff like that. But that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I just love living life. Like
Yeah.
I love like exploring everything I've never seen before. And those are things that I feel like you really, up in the air and like I already scuba dive and like jumping
Yeah.
from a plane and like climbing to mountains that most people don't go to. Like
Yeah.
those would be pretty, those are, yeah, three things that I can think of for sure.
Yeah. I think I can only speak for myself, but I think that's one thing, like what you just said, I love living life. I think it comes across just in everything you do. And because I remember, my mom, she didn't really understand, like when I was in a really dark place before I started coming back up.
Yeah.
She didn't understand how, like, she's like, how did a TV show on people you don't even know help you? Like she just doesn't understand that. And what really helped me was actually when I started following you on social media. I fell in love with the show, but what actually helped me like want to change was following you on social media and some of the other actors from the show. And it was that zest for life, right? Just finally seeing that in someone and just realizing I wanted that too again.
Yeah.
And so your love for life definitely comes across.
Good.
So
I'm glad that that resonated with you. And like, good. I try to put that out there as much as, because it's pretty awesome. Like sometimes we go through tough times when it's hard to see it, but like, man, there's like a whole world to live out here.
yeah,
It's the
yeah.
hippie side of me.
I'm,
I'm such a hippie sometimes.
no, you're not. And I'm still realizing that, right? Like, so I'm from Michigan and we moved to Arizona for a little bit. We actually just moved to California this weekend.
No
Yeah,
way. Oh
yeah.
my
So
gosh.
I'm an hour outside of LA. So if I ever bump into you on the street, I'm like, it's me.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Congrats on the
So
move. That's exciting.
yeah, it's very exciting, but it kind of made me think of just wanting to live life like we're out surrounded by mountains and just wanting to go explore, right? Just like
Mhm.
see things and just get that joy for life back. So
Yeah. Sometimes that's
definitely.
all it is. Like sometimes just going outside and like going on a walk. Like I think I was told that a long time ago by a therapist I had. She's like, how have you been getting out in nature? And it didn't hit me until I think she said it. And I was like, yeah, let me try to do that more. And it was crazy. Like just walking outside can really like make a huge difference. I'll do it sometimes when I go to like big cities too. I'll just be like, I need to get out of this hotel room or out of this whatever I'm in at the moment and just walk around. So
Yeah, yeah.
good. I'm glad. I'm excited for you to experience, California.
Yeah, I'm excited too because it's all new, right? Obviously coming from Michigan,
Yeah.
coming up here, it's just it's like a land of opportunity almost out here. It's just so different. There's so many different things.
Do you feel like you
So,
could have gone out in Michigan a lot too and explore, or what did you feel about when living in Michigan?
I did, but being born and raised there, I'm 35, so it's like I felt like I had seen everything, I had done everything. But it
Yeah.
also became, just kind of talk about the mental health side.
Yeah.
It became kind of a dry place for me.
Okay.
I had joined the church I was in at 12
Okay.
and left at 34. And when I left, nobody was allowed to speak to me from the church. And so that was the only family I had for 21 years. And my personal family is just me, my mom, my husband, and my two sons.
Hmm.
And so you take away a church of 700 people, that's all I knew.
Yeah.
It's like everything was taken from me.
Yeah.
And then having the postpartum depression, trying to just get up every day, right? Which I think our society needs to focus, women's health in particular,
Hmm.
needs a reform quite a bit.
Yes.
'Cause we don't talk about it because if you do, you're kind of shamed and, so we need to empower women more. No, Danielle's not 35. I am sorry. Somebody's like, 35.
I'm close. I'm close. I'm 34.
Yeah. But no, I don't know where I was, but
oh my God, wait. The last thing you just said was, about women's mental health, like just
yeah.
women's talking about postpartum depression and talking about women's health in general. And like, I do think that mental health, as you said, is such a thing that it feels like I'm lucky to be in California where it feels like, or at least Los Angeles, where it feels like it's very openly talked about. Everyone I know has a therapist, and everyone I know, like, we talk about our mental health and stuff like that. But you realize that outside of LA or cities that really kind of feel more like this, like, it's not really talked about. And like you said, there's always a lot of anything someone said, it doesn't necessarily pertain exactly to this, but it's been playing in my head over and over. And I did this film festival, and one of the women of the board and one of the curators was like, what people don't know they fear, and what they fear they get angry about. And I feel like that can kind of wrapped up in like this whole thing of like, people just don't know it, so they're afraid of it, and no one wants to talk about what they're afraid of because it makes them feel uncomfortable. And I think that's the problem and then women feel so much shame around it. I know women that have gone through postpartum, and they still don't know fully how to talk about it or what exactly they were going through. So I have to say to you too, like the fact that you came from losing 700 family members essentially, which is what that was to you, and going through postpartum, and look at where you're at now, like, congratulations. Like, that's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. And you're right. I mean, it's to the point where we don't talk about it so much to like, it took them about 4 months to diagnose me with it.
Yeah.
And then they told me that I actually had postpartum anxiety, which I had never heard of before.
Neither have I.
Yeah, and they said that it's actually more common than postpartum depression, but we tend to label it postpartum depression. And so I had like crippling anxiety that would just come over me any moment, and I couldn't control it. And so dealing with both. And then the church that I was in, counseling and therapy was actually like forbidden. Like, you weren't allowed to do it. It was looked down on because it was like,
I've heard of this before.
If you have a relationship with God, that should be enough. Like, you shouldn't need therapy. And so I saw a counselor for 6 years, but every time I would hear that, I would feel shamed in my church, right? Like, I shouldn't be doing that. My faith isn't strong enough. I need to pray more. Because that's what it always was, is like, you should pray more. And so I'm also on a journey of like refinding my faith. Like, what do I believe? Because it's like I left this place, that's all I knew. And so that's part of my journey too, is just like spirituality, finding out what's right for me and my beliefs. So
yeah, you're basically reassessing all your identity. So much of it has changed.
Yeah, one of the poems I'm going to send you talks about that, about refinding my identity and stuff. So
yeah, it sounds like you've done a great job of it, though.
Thank you.